Before I start, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you love real, raw stories about life, love, and betrayal. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. It was supposed to be a normal Tuesday evening. The office had been draining, my stomach was tight from stress, and all I wanted was to unwind over dinner with my wife Aisha. But then my phone buzzed. A message from her. Stuck in a boring office meeting. Ugh. I frowned. Weird. I knew she had mentioned a meeting earlier in the day, but for some reason that text didn't feel right. Something about it felt off. Maybe it was just my mind playing tricks. I shrugged it off and tried to continue my own work dinner, sitting quietly at a table at the same restaurant she had said she would be at later. My friends chatted, glasses clinked, and the hum of conversation filled the room. But a small voice in my head kept whispering that something wasn't right. An hour passed and then I saw her, walking through the restaurant doors. My stomach dropped. The message, the meeting, it had been a lie. She was here, 2 tables away, laughing, leaning close to someone else. My chest tightened. I froze. I couldn't breathe. My mind refused to accept what I was seeing. It was just wrong. My wife, sitting across from another man, her hand brushing his, leaning in with that smile I hadn't seen from me in months. I wanted to look away, to pretend I didn't notice, but the betrayal stabbed me in real time. I left my friends mid-conversation, needing to process, needing to survive the moment. My hand shook as I walked past their table. She looked up, noticed me, and the expression on her face wasn't guilt. Not even embarrassment. Just a flicker of surprise before it disappeared into practiced composure. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every message, every conversation, every small lie she had told over the past few weeks. The extra time at work, the late-night texts she quickly hid when I came near, the forced excuses for small things that never made sense. Was I imagining it all? Had I been blind for months? I remembered the small moments that now felt like lies. The way she once said she was on a conference call, but I later saw her phone light up with someone's name I didn't recognize. The time she worked late, when I drove past the office and saw her car already gone. These weren't just coincidences anymore. The next day, I confronted her. Not in anger at first, I wanted clarity. I needed her to tell me the truth. Aisha, why didn't you tell me you were here yesterday? My voice trembled. She looked at me startled. Then defensive. I don't know. It wasn't important. It was just a client lunch. But the voice in my head screamed. Client lunch? 2 tables away from me? Pressed on. So why text me that you were stuck in a meeting? Why lie? Her eyes filled with tears, but her voice was shaky, unsure. I didn't want to ruin your night. I didn't think it mattered. And that's when I felt it, the final crushing weight of betrayal. Not just that she had been somewhere she shouldn't, but that she had thought so little of me that a lie was easier than the truth. The days that followed were a blur of questioning, silent dinners, and sleepless nights. Every memory we had shared felt fragile. Every small kindness now tinged with doubt. I kept asking myself if I had missed signs, if I had been naive, or if love itself had blinded me. I remembered the early days of our marriage, when her smile had been mine alone, when her hand in mine was a reassurance I could trust. Now, even the touch of her hand felt heavy with doubt. Every, I love you, echoed differently, like a memory I couldn't fully believe anymore. I tried to understand her perspective. Maybe she felt lonely, maybe she was scared. Maybe it wasn't as serious as it looked. She confessed later that she had felt disconnected from me, that seeing someone from her past had made her feel alive in ways she thought she had lost. Guilt washed over her, but it didn't erase the hurt. I had to make a choice. Cling to love that felt poisoned by lies, or stand for my own self-respect. I chose the latter. I told her we needed space. That rebuilding trust would take time, and I couldn't do it while feeling second place in my own marriage. Walking away that first time was the hardest thing I've ever done. Not because I didn't love her, God, I still did, but because loving someone doesn't mean letting them break you. I learned that love without respect is hollow, and betrayal doesn't disappear with apologies. Months later, the pain has softened but not vanished. I remember that restaurant, the clinking glasses, the laughter that wasn't for me. But I also remember the strength I found in myself, the clarity that I could survive heartbreak and rebuild a life that honors me. If you've ever experienced betrayal, I want you to know that the pain is valid, The confusion is natural, and the journey to self-respect is worth every hard step. Love yourself enough to walk away when someone else's choices hurt you, and remember, healing is possible, even when trust is shattered.